RBNZ triggers huge NZD rally. Okay guys, what's been going on then? So, last night we had the RBNZs, this is the Central Bank of New Zealand. It was their first rate decision of the year. And as expected, they held rates steady at 1%, right? So the market reaction was not because they chose to hold rates, that's what we were expecting. So why did NZD rally so much? Well, the RBNZ has something called its OCR forecast. Essentially, the OCR forecast is the RBNZ's way of saying this is what we think the future interest rate is going to be for the foreseeable distance into the future, right? So what they did is they unexpectedly removed their bias towards further easing. So beforehand, the OCR rate was actually going a little bit lower, indicating that they had a bias towards potentially lower rates, right? Obviously, as we always bang on about, lower rates is negative for a currency. So when they removed that bias towards lower rates, that's massively NZD positive, right? So as soon as the market saw that they had removed their bias towards lower rates, it's actually a slight bias towards higher rates by the end of 2021. NZD rallied massively, huge rally. Today it's the major outperformer in FX markets, right? And there's one other thing that people were picking up upon, which was more hawkish than expected. So the RBNZ largely shrugged off the impact of coronavirus, right? So you remember a couple of weeks ago, the RBA in Australia did a similar thing. So both of these banks are now saying that they see the impact of coronavirus on their economies as temporary. So why is the RBNZ so optimistic then? Well, there's a couple of reasons. We'll quickly go through them. First up, the labour market in New Zealand is really strong at the moment. So this is what the RBNZ had to say. They said employment is at or slightly above its maximum sustainable level. And in terms of that language, that was a slight upgrade from what they said last year in November. Last year in November, they said that employment is just around the maximum level. So the RBNZ are more optimistic about the labour market. About the economy in general, they say they expect economic growth to accelerate over the second half of this year. So, you know, if economic growth is accelerating, why do you need to cut rates? So this is all NZD positive, all NZD positive. I think looking ahead for NZD, it really has the potential to be an outperformer this year, right? RBNZ, they're not going to cut rates anymore. Other central banks might be cutting rates, the Fed, the RBA, even the ECB might be a little bit more dovish now given some of the recent bad data. But RBNZ firmly on hold, right? And they're expecting this much better data. So, I mean, looking forward, NZD, definitely one to watch. That's pretty much it from me for now. I will see you guys in the next one.